Hi everyone, it's Margaret here with 60andMe. A lot of women have asked me to do a video on jobs that they can do in retirement that are not tech focused. Now we all know that there's lots of opportunities online. You can, hide your age online. No one knows what your age is, and you can do consultancy work or some kind of administrative work. Usually, telephone work usually involves the computer, and there are many women out in our community of 60andMe who don't really want that. They don't want a tech job. They don't want something that's sitting behind a desk. They want to be doing something that's either aligned to their passions, to their own personal preferences, but or also just able to make a bit of money doing something they love. That's fun. Maybe it's something active, something dynamic, creative. And I've got some ideas for you. I've got 10 different jobs here that you can pursue that are not tech focused. You don't need to, sit behind a computer or have, specifically, AI or artificial intelligence or, Excel spreadsheet skills, just things you could, potentially do. Now, I'm going to try to give some specific places where you can go for help to get more information, but you can find all this information online, and maybe local to your own location was more relevant. But here we go. Okay. Books. I love books. I worked in bookstores actually for several years of my life, 10 years of my life. And so I have a huge passion for books. And I think if I could wave a magic wand sometimes, I'd like to work in a bookstore again, because that is my passion. But of course, it's a job that, involves some training, and they're very high demand. Lots of young students want to work in bookstores part-time. So bookstores themselves are challenging, but libraries, now, libraries are not always, but often looking for assistants, library assistants. And it's, someone that could do catalog shelving, assisting with events, activities. Libraries these days, at least certainly in where I live, they've become kind of a hub for education and activity in the community. So that there's opportunities, beyond the kind of simple checking out of books and doing the kind of more administrative jobs. There's more active, fun things you can do in a library. Now, if you go to your local library, just ask. And I'm going to keep saying this throughout this whole video, because you're not going to know what's out there or what's available if you don't ask. You've got to, first of all, formulate in your mind what it is you want to do, and then find the people that can help you hook up in those jobs. So you have to love books, love helping others, love getting involved in community activity, and that's where you can get information. Now, encore.org, really good company and group. I've worked with them in the past, and I know they're still around, but they're all about encore careers, and that might be a good place to check out some ideas for connecting with book-related, library-related opportunities. So encore.org. And of course, the American Association of Libraries, there's a job board apparently. You can go up there and see what's available. But anyway, libraries, books, definitely a non-tech. Well, I say that, but there's technology involved with books, of course, but there are some other things there that are non-tech and fun with books. Another thing is a museum gallery guide. Now, when I go to museums, I always look at the guides that are walking around or sitting in the corner, and thinking, it was a fun job just being surrounded by all this beautiful art all day. What do you do? And learning about what's there and the background, or the new exhibits that are on show. And so that's another opportunity that you might want to consider. There's a group called it's Ask in the Museum I've got written down here, because that's the only place locally that you'll find what's available. And it doesn't have to be art museums. It could be historical museums, or museums on a place. Like a lot of towns have a museum focused on what happened in that town over the years, and certainly in Europe there's a little bit of history there, so you've got these beautiful opportunities. But if you're in the States or Canada, there's still, or UK, anywhere in the world, there are museums, and that's another place to check for part-time non-tech jobs. Most of these jobs I'm describing, I would say, are part-time. I think that this is, and sometimes it's just simply you need the extra bit of money every month, and you also want to get out. So try thinking about those kinds of things. If you have a passion for history, museums, art, maybe that's a place to consider. Okay, you want to get out in the world. You want to do something that's involved in physical activity. And I know you're going to go, oh, Margaret, we've thought about this a gazillion times, and it's so silly. Pet walker, dog walker. It's not. It's not silly. There are so many people that have pets who they don't want to leave all day by themselves when they're working or out, doing other things, traveling, for example. You can do well with pet walking. And there are many different groups. I think I'm going to list one here. It's called Rover. It's a pet sitting platform like home sitters. They're actually designed for people that have the facilities and the experience to look after animals, and it's called Rover, rover.com, and they will match you up with people that are looking for a pet helper, pet babysitter, pet sitter. And then, of course, there are some of the places like the trustedhousesitters.com, which is a house sitting operation. And they also want people to come and watch their houses who have, because they have pets, they also want you to look after pets. Now, at one point in the distant past, I did actually look into house sitters. It's a good organization. It's been around forever. And probably some of the women watching this video have had experience with it. So pop some details in the comment section, but they will often have horses or goats or sheep or ducks or other farm animals, and they're going away on holiday. They're leaving their house for a month or 2 weeks, and they want someone to come live there. And this is what house sitters is all about, like sitting people's houses. But then most of the time, I would say it's a very big portion of housesitters.com is looking after pets as well. And as I said, it's not just dogs and cats and guinea pigs. It's a lot of interesting opportunity. Another thing is a floral assistant. Now, I know that there's a lot of people these days are doing the more interesting design elements for banks, build in offices where they deliver flowers every week, every month in certain designs. And these are really, really unique opportunities. My throat's going crazy there. And so floral assistant might be one that you're interested in. Maintaining displays, showing your creative sign and design, things like out of wildflowers and shrubbery, especially around the holidays. There's probably more opportunity during the holiday time too. And some of these jobs are more focused on, the themed times during the year. So I think floral assistant is definitely something to pursue. And again, just ask in the local shops, local department stores, and see what's available. Offer your services. Do a little portfolio of what you've done and show it, and just bring it to life. Be enthusiastic. That's the number one thing when you're approaching any of these people. Seasonal retail or bookstore clerk. I've mentioned seasonal work before. Definitely a possibility. I mean, about the November timeframe, stores will start hiring additional staff. Their own staff is maybe going off. The management is taking a break, and they'll need people to cover during the busy times of the year. I don't think people realize that a lot of retail stores, they do like 90% of their business in 2 months. And the rest of the year, they're pretty much working on a deficit. And so during that time, during those busy months, they need to be covered. They need good people. So if you're interested in part-time work as a retail, now I know, Margaret, I'm 70 years old. I don't want to be standing on my feet. Okay, then don't. And I get that. I totally get it. But if you're hungry, you need the money, you need to do things, do it. There's no job on this planet that I think is worthy of any shame, any embarrassment, and anything. If you have a way to make money that involves just doing something physical that maybe you never thought you would ever do it. Just do it. You need the money, or you need the social connection, whatever it is. Another thing is to be a workshop leader. And these are you can create this yourself. Now, this is one of those ones that might involve social media or technology to be really successful. But hey, there's other meeting boards and places that you can promote your abilities. If you have a skill that you're good at, that you studied, that you became an expert at, you might want to do a little course in a retirement center, a community center. Doesn't have to be, TEDx presentation. It can just be something that would be rewarding for you because you know about it. And you have no idea. I mean, honestly, the retirement homes and the little like sort of community centers, they're always looking for people who have done something that they can share with a small group. It's just great activity for them to offer their people, and they should pay you for it. I mean, some of these are volunteer jobs, you can say, but no, ask for it. You say, my charge is whatever for a workshop, and they miraculously find the money somehow if they need your help. Storytime reader in libraries for kids, another great one. Classroom helper. I don't know whether you can do that. You probably need some teaching experience. I'm not sure about that, but if you love to read stories, again in the library, you could offer your services. But again, these are paid jobs. These are jobs that you can ask money for, and you shouldn't be embarrassed about doing that. Event assistant. If your town has got like a convention center or something like that, get on the list because they need people sometimes just to take tickets to, and it may only be a weekend job, but if you can earn a couple of $100s over a weekend, that's really helpful. And if you're on a fixed income, that can make a lot of difference. So, helping at community events or large events. I mean, I know when it was at Microsoft, we would go to places like Atlanta or Chicago, and they would hire hundreds of people just to take tickets and help people with directions. So assisting at a workshop is important. Catering is another one. I know that a lot of cafes now are doing they do coffee, but they also bring in cakes and pastries. They don't want to hire a baker or a person full time. You can offer your services, again, if you've done that kind of work and you love it. Take some pictures in of what you've done. Your focus, it may be vegan, it could be, sort of for certain diets, but have a go. I think that, and there's one more. This is a really good one. Officiant, being an officiant. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, but this is one that is really, really cool. A friend of mine is taking a program to become an officiant, and this is the person that helps, they guide people through different milestone celebrations. It could be a wedding, it could be an anniversary, it could be a funeral, and this is where it gets a little bit sensitive, but as you're older, I think you get it. I mean, you just know what people want to hear. And my friend is actually, she sent me a draft of what she was working on for her course. It's a program, but it's not that expensive. And when you come out of it, you've got a skill that you can offer for a reasonably good amount of money. And you can part-time or full-time. And anyway, she sent me the draft of what she would, an imaginary person. And it was so lovely. And I thought, what a great gift to be able to put a family who's grieving or celebrating, out of their minds, that someone else is going to guide them through the official process of the ceremony. So an officiant, that's I think one that I definitely think is a good idea. So what do you think? What have you got maybe you've done a job that you've discovered, a part-time job that's not tech focused. Let us know. Put it in the section below. We'd love to share it, what you discovered, any resources you've got, any places you went to get help or direction or leads. Please do that so that we can all be benefiting from your knowledge. Okay, everybody, well, have a fabulous day wherever you are. And thank you so much for being here. Sending you all my love. And just take care of yourself. Tough times, I know. It's all good, though. We're going to get through it. Stay well. Bye.